If they don't care to put out a quality product, then she doesn't care to lick. And if she doesn't care to lick, then I don't mind half-assing it for the rest of this video, so let's get it over with. Mortal Kombat 3 for Sega Game Gear is the worst possible incarnation of Mortal Kombat ever conceived. This is not up for debate, this is not an opinion, this is a disturbing truth that was buried deep by keeping it as a solely European release back in the day. But years later, this horrible travesty of software code would be unearthed, and woe to all those who have played it, myself included. It's pretty clear the Nimrods who developed this travesty had no cares in the world about putting out a quality product. Let's be frank, the Sega Game Gear, while a somewhat underpowered system, was more than capable of pulling off a half-decent Mortal Kombat offering. One only needs to play the first two games on the system to see how well they played under less than ideal circumstances. But by the time they got around to porting Mortal Kombat 3 to the console, the overall mentality seemed to be, no effort, we refuse. And so if Williams, Acclaim, and Sculptured Software were content in releasing a half-assed product, then I'm more than content to release a half-assed video on the subject. Let me oversimplify this for you and end this as quickly as possible. Controls are foobarred to a point where even basic attacks barely function without considerable delay, which means best of luck trying to pull off special moves and fatalities with any real timing. The AI is relentless to a considerable degree that very few people will have the patience to reach the final boss fight with Shao Kahn. It's not out and out impossible, I've done it myself somehow, but the number of folks with the patience for this sort of thing is few and far between. The sound is almost non-existent, and what sound is present is not very good, to put it mildly. The graphical quality is almost laughable, the sprites look like crap and anime even worse, and the less said about the backgrounds, the better. Overall, if you want Mortal Kombat on the go and the Sega Game Gear was the only thing you had at your disposal, then just stick with the first two Mortal Kombats and leave this one in the pit where it belongs. And that's really all I have to say about that. Some could argue I could probably go deeper into the details, but like the developers, my mentality on this subject matter is, no effort, we refuse. Or to put it more accurately, I just don't care. Good night.